Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is Fiercestbard. I'm doing art. And Pig, you're here. What's going on? How's everything? And we also have dog barking. Other than art, we have special dog barks. Hello, Coffee. Say hello, Coffee. Coffee wants to say hello to everybody through the barking of the dog. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are ready because we're almost there. The weekend is coming. Good. Starting a new job later today. Oh, nice! Congrats! Hey, new job is always cool. Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't too hard for you to get it, but I'm sure that you feel very excited and stuff like that, and also it's a full-time job just to get a job, so congratulations, seriously. Now this is coming from someone who hasn't changed jobs in a while. I've been very fortunate, so but I don't relish the possibilities, right? I never want to say that I'm gonna be so secure that I have nothing to worry about in terms of jobs. So that's why I always act as though the possibility could be there, even though it doesn't seem that way for myself. But it's great to hear. Hopefully everybody's got something as exciting to come in their way, though. Let's see, how is this? So yeah, I'm actually continuing to do convention prep today. I don't think you guys will be able to watch me color this one, though, when I get to that point. Well, you guys will see some of it, I think, today, right? Because even though I'm only about where the face is and the hair, I did a lot of it today, actually. I've already done quite a bit of it, and I think that I'm well on my way to doing the rest, because the rest of this, the rest of her outfit is actually quite a bit simpler. Her hair is the most complex thing on her character. And who is she? She is actually the mascot for Cappy Buds. We adopted her from an artist on Twitter earlier in the year. Let me actually, oh my gosh, I should always have their Twitter up just in case, because I always want to give credit where credit is due, and I always like to support other artists and stuff like that in their endeavors. So it's let us see. Let me bring up, because the thing is, this particular artist has a Twitter handle and name that's all in Chinese characters, right? So I actually cannot read. Speaking is one thing, reading is the other thing, right? And it's reading, not so much. So I always have to look specifically at their account to see, okay, what was how do you pronounce this? It is as soon as I find the post. Let's see. We're almost there. Matsushima. That is this artist's name. Matsushima is apparently I think that they're a team. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that there are a team of rigger and artists and stuff like that. And they happen to draw a capybara girl, and as you guys know, we happen to have a capybara theme with Cappy Buds, right? And I remember at the time, Mooney really liked this this particular design and stuff like that. We were really considering okay, what should we And then, you know, eventually we were just kind of like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know? So that is the how of how come we came to possess this. As for whether or not she is being actively used, neither of us used the model for streaming. I mean, I think Mooney tried once or twice to you know, to show off the model, but she has not really used it during streams and stuff like that. And because, like, you know, we're unsure as to whether or not, you know, like this particular persona will become like a large part of the streams and stuff like that, right? Like, so, you know, it's one of those things, like, we have to really think about it and stuff like that still. But in the meantime, it doesn't mean that I can't draw her. And this is actually the first time I think, like, this is one of the first times that I'm drawing this particular character right now. I've never drawn her before, which is surprising. Again, you know, like, we adopted this one and you know, have done very little. But now I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like, she is supposed to be the mascot for our brand, so we should probably do something with her. So I'm actually drawing this artwork as like a promotional piece for the table that we're going to be manning at CarrierCon. So we're going to be attending CarrierCon. Well, I will be manning the table. Mooney has other things that she needs to be doing that weekend, but I will be there to man an Artist Alley booth. And yeah, you know, like, this artwork is going to be present there as, like, I think I'm actually thinking maybe I'm gonna throw this on the business card as well, you know, like, possibilities, you know, possibilities, they're there, yeah, and you can take advantage of them, you know. But yeah, we'll see what happens, you know. But the coloring for her is going to happen ASAP, right? So what's gonna happen is, I think I'm gonna finish this line art either during stream or, you know, like, after stream, right? And then I'm just gonna dive right into coloring. But I have to probably take a gap of because I don't usually stream past 2 or 3 hours roughly. So what ends up happening is like, you guys might not be able to see the coloring portion of this one, but I'm gonna keep the coloring for her pretty simple. I'm gonna probably do it as a light cell shading style, and you know, leave it at that and stuff, and we'll see what happens. If reception is good for this art, I may revisit it at some point, because I'm not against revisiting art. Actually, one of the pieces of art actually that I should say I revisited is actually Hosho Marion. So I drew Hosho Marion like a while ago, right? Like, I did like a bikini artwork of her, right? So let me grab that really quick, right? Because let me see where she is. Like, what the heck? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I drew a piece for Hosho Marion that looks like this quite a while ago. This one, it has been put through the ringer in terms of like what did they call it, the anti-AI thing? So it's got splotches all over the place. But, you know, like, I always liked this artwork, but I never really liked the face for her in this way. So what I actually ended up doing is here we go. I actually went back and fixed up the face a little bit. I shouldn't say fixed up, I changed it, I should say. So you can kind of see the difference here between the two when I flick them back and forth. Like I changed the shape of the eye. It's pretty much the same eye still, but I changed the shape of the eye on the right side, and then I also redid the mouth and made a more appropriate mouth for Marin and stuff like that, because you know, like this was an earlier piece of art and stuff like that. I think things have changed for me a little bit in terms of the style, right? So, you know, I kind of wanted to draw her a little bit closer to what, you know, I had envisioned it, and I've always liked the way that this one came out, so I just wanted to make small improvements there. So, you know, like I managed to do that. So, you know, like that's kind of an interesting case of me going and revisiting art. You know, like sometimes it happens, you know. It's kind of fun. Like, you know, like sometimes you just feel the need, you know. I always think that maybe I would try to do that more often at some point, but you know, it's only when time permits, right? Like, and unfortunately right now time does not. Time does not permit right now because of convention prep. But when convention, so basically, just to kind of give you guys like a layout of things to come in the next few months, right? After we attend Carrier Con, we have been trying to apply to go to other conventions as part of the Artist Alley. We haven't gotten in anything just yet, you know, like because it is hyper competitive. Like it's not a joke. Like when you want to apply to these events, oh man, you got to get in your application in early. You've got to have like a portfolio that shows that you're here and you're serious about this and everything. It's like it's no joke. Like the amount of prep that you have to do to be you basically have to be a professional artist, right? Like for reals. Like, you know, you can't half-ass it, you know, to say the least, and stuff like that, right? And you know, for everyone that's been doing this for years and stuff like that, I salute all of you artists who have been doing this for years. Because you know, like it's an experience. It's definitely an experience, and I'm hoping that, you know, that maybe this is the year that I am able to get a little bit more serious with this, because, you know, like the ramp up for me has been rather slow. I do have like a full-time job, as I mentioned earlier, and stuff like that, right? So it's not as though that you know, I could put 100% of my time into this, you know, but either way, I try to do what I can when I can and stuff like that, you know. Like I don't want to ever like be stuck on the negativity of, oh, why can't I do this, or why can't I do that, you know. Like I try to stay positive about it, you know. Like the fact is, you know, having a regular job is something that I can't avoid, because you know, regardless of whether it's Cappy Town or Bounty Hunterville, you know, I have to pay the bills, and you know, we can't escape it. None of us can escape it, right? So it's one of those constants that, you know, you can't get away from, and you just kind of have to work around and stuff like that. And you know, like I said, I would be crazy to say that I want to just quit that and do art full time, because unfortunately that would mean that, you know, we would not be able to feed ourselves or our darling doggo, you know. And that unfortunately we can't do that. We can't just do that. So now why the heck am I putting so many? I don't usually draw characters where the hair is this intricate and there's so much to it, right? But I'm following the character sheet, right, for this particular capybara girl. We never named her, by the way. Like, we never gave her a name or anything like that. And Matsushima Sensei never gave should I call them sensei? I don't know. Like, but they never gave this character a name either. So I'm just calling her Cappy Girl or Capybara Girl or, you know, something like that. Maybe we should give her a name. You know, maybe we should give her a name. That would be easier for me to refer to her. But yeah, I never usually draw characters with such an intricate amount of hair and stuff like that. So like this is like been challenging. I think this is going to be the most challenging part of this inking right now, or rather this line art. I always call it inking. I'm just I'm too set on the old terminology, because when we use the ink comics and stuff like that, like I'm still stuck on calling it inking, even though technically, you know, there's no ink happening here. There's just line art, right? It's like technically that's what it is. I mean, it's the same principles all at the end of the day, so it's, you know, maybe I can get away with calling it inking. Oh, and if you guys are wondering about the title of the stream today, or even yesterday's, so I you know, like this kind of goes back to some of the Gundam stuff that we were talking about yesterday. Like I recently, like, because me and Mooney, we went to a pop-up, the Gundam based pop-up that happened in Bounty Hunterville and stuff like that, right? And we got a bunch of things, the story of what we got and, you know, what happened that day, that's in yesterday's stream. But today, okay, so, you know, like I'm a very impressionable Cappy. I have my moments, right? And I noticed that it's been a minute since I've watched Mobile Suit Gundam of any kind. It has been a minute. You know, I never saw Iron-Blooded Orphans. I did watch Witch from Mercury. I actually really like Witch from Mercury. I know it's not exactly what people look for when it comes to Mobile Suit Gundam, but I liked it. I liked it. I liked it enough. Yeah, so I was kind of like, man, it's been a minute since I've watched one of these shows, and we're here buying this Gunpla and stuff like that, right? And I was talking to Etom, Mooney's friend, right? And I was like, you know what? I have yet to watch what is it called? G-Cux, right? So what the heck is G-Cux? So I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, to be honest. But G-Cux is the latest Gundam show. I'm not gonna say the newest, the new Gundam show, because I think it's been out for a while now, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but it's been out for a minute at this point. Well, not for a minute, but like, you know, like the whole run of the show has already happened and stuff. I was not there. I was not there for the release, like as it was coming out. I am only now watching it on Amazon Prime, as the show has already kind of had all its episodes available. So, you know, like I don't have to wait. I could binge it, right? So I was watching a couple of episodes there, and needless to say, I'm not gonna really get into it too much because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but I think I don't like it all that much. and I know it's supposed to be an anniversary show, so there's a lot of nostalgia that's baked into the show, and I like seeing some of the references and stuff like that it has to the original series, right? I never saw the original first Gundam, or whatever, however they refer to it. I never saw it. Or it took me years to see it. Like, I only saw the original Mobile Suit Gundam through the compilation movies eventually. I never saw the TV version in full and stuff like that, right? So like the story, and I would see clips of it on different services like YouTube and whatnot, right? So it's like I never actually watched the original series like as a in order, and all the episodes individually and stuff like that. Like, where did I leave off with the original series? I think I saw like a lot of the episodes all the way up to where Amuro fights Rambaral, actually. I saw most of that stuff when the white base is on Earth, and Amuro is still having his a hard time adjusting, and then so it's like, my experience with the show kind of starts to taper around that time, and then I just kind of watched the compilation movies for the rest of it. I never actually saw the complete the completed run of the show as it was intended, though I guess one can argue that maybe watching it through the compilation movies was a better way to do it, because it is a hard watch for people who are not fans of watching old anime and stuff like that, right? Like, if you're not the type of person who likes watching that old classic style, then it's a hard watch. It's definitely a hard watch. But I actually happen to like doing that. But the original Gundam series was one that I never actually got to finish. Maybe I will go back and just like kind of watch all the episodes in somehow, in some way, right? Like, maybe that's like a homework assignment for me at some point. Maybe I gotta do it, because because one of my favorite Gundam series actually is Zeta Gundam. When I was growing up, right, I didn't see that one either until like years later. I never actually saw the original run of it, and this was the era when fan subs were still a thing. So I saw some episodes of it through fan subs and stuff like that at that point, but I was never able to actually catch the whole thing until much later in life, when they actually had an official release for it. And then even then, I did end up watching all of it, and then I watched the compilation movies that they did. What is it called? A new translation. I actually still, even though there's mixed reviews about, especially about the way that those movies ended, I still really enjoyed that when I saw those movies and stuff like that, right? So I don't mind watching the old footage. Like, I know that there's a lot of fans out there who think that the old footage has a nostalgic factor to them. I don't have that nostalgia, obviously, because I didn't grow up with it. But I still do enjoy seeing it, right? Because sometimes you'd be shocked at how much the older anime, the animation actually holds up. There's a lot of OVAs from that era and from before, where you kind of watch the animation and not even necessarily like the story, right? You watch the animation and you just kind of go, damn, that's actually really impressive for what they did, like how did they manage that, without, some of the stuff that we have today, right? So it's like, it's kind of impressive. today we all have like screen tablets and things like that, and we're working with the undo button and all this stuff. And it's like, well, of course, you could get it with enough time and commitment, you can get it looking like that, right? But back in those days, all they had were their pegs and the paper, pegs and paper. Like, that's all they were working with. And I think the coloring software that they eventually started using in those days for animation was like loaded on an Amiga or something like that. It's just like kind of crazy when you hear about like how the classic animators used to do stuff, and it's like, damn. Like, I don't know if I would have survived that. Like, I mean, again, it's more about how dedicated you are in terms of like, I won't even say dedicated, how stubborn you are about like, making it, right? Like, you need to be a little bit like your dedication and your stubbornness to not give up on the art form, right? Like, it's gonna, you'll be tested in those days, Because I remember a time when I couldn't undo and stuff like that, right? And like I tried so hard to learn how to do like an inking style that was like minimize mistakes as much as possible. And then I ended up picking up like how to ink with a brush. Actually, I started trying it. And trying to do it in a way where I wasn't making too many large errors, because at the time I didn't understand. Okay, I didn't understand like, okay, if I screw up, how am I gonna fix it, right? Like, I didn't understand that. Like, I remember some of my friends actually showed me this, like when I was still a young Cappy, and like I messed up, and I'm like, oh damn, I guess I gotta redo this one. And they were like, no, what are you doing, right? And then I remember like her cutting paper out, like taking another sheet of paper, cutting a piece of it out, and just like gluing it right on top, and then just like continuing to art on top of it and stuff like that. And it's like, why do you need to start over? Just do that. Like, and I it didn't occur to me like, oh, that's right, we're gonna scan in the image later, right? So like back then you had to scan in your image, right? And when you scan the image, it's not gonna detect those little shadows if you set it up in a specific way. And you have like, you just gotta mess with the contrast and the brightness on those settings, and you could actually kind of hide certain things like a piece of glued paper in those days. And it was like, oh wow, okay, I did not understand that. And so I can only imagine like what it was like before that, right? Like even before that, right? Like you just had to do it right. But then you have corrective supplies. Like recently, me and Mooney were in Japan. Well, not so recently, but like a year or two ago, 2 years ago, we were in Japan, and we went to the Clamp Museum. And in the Clamp Museum exhibit, they showed a lot of old panels of the art that the artists from Clamp were doing and stuff like that. And the one thing that we noticed immediately was how many small like corrections were on there, how many whited out parts, how many little things that they had to clean up and correct, because maybe that they made a little error here or there and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a learning experience, right? Because you don't realize that you don't need to be perfect until you see that even the pros are not perfect, in the way that you think, right? And stuff like that. They're also working like in similar ways. They make like errors and stuff like that, and then they do the best that they can to patch it up so that it looks the best that it could. once it gets printed and stuff like that, right? So it's like, you know, you don't realize these types of things when you're first learning, you know, because you know, like it's hard for somebody to who's learning to think of things that way, that you can make mistakes and you can you can have the time to do, you know, to not just make mistakes but learn from them and stuff like that, right? Because you see all the pros on stream or in videos, and they're basically doing this like, they're just drawing without erasing, or you know, they're doing things like really smooth and stuff like that, and it doesn't seem like they needed to correct anything in their work and stuff like that. And you know, it's because you see that and you're comparing yourself to that makes it hard for you as an artist, right? Like, I know that I feel like that all the time. I feel inadequate whenever I watch my favorite artists doing their thing on their streams or on their videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, like, how did you do that without even like erasing or anything like that, right? It's like, damn, I wish I could do that. But you know, like, it's not as crazy as one would think, you know, like hold on, let me just try to get this. Okay, that's about it. Yeah, it's not as crazy as one would think that, you know, to be able to do that. That's just a lot of practice, like years of practice and years of perfecting their own style and stuff like that. And you know, the appearance of them doing it without making mistakes, right, is just that, or the repetition for them, you know, that they're just repeating the muscle memory that they have and stuff. And you know, you'll eventually get there is what I'm trying to say. I think everybody will eventually get where they want to, right, when it comes to that sort of thing. Because you know, though for me, I still got quite a ways to go. I think I still got quite a ways to go. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've got quite a ways to go. Though it's funny, you know, like I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of the art that I was am very impressed with in when I was still like, well, I'm still learning, but when I was still like younger and stuff like that, and you know, I was like, oh, who would I want to like emulate the most and stuff like that, right? A lot of the art that I actually very much enjoyed were from artists of the spicy type. Of I think I still have like one Patreon subscription for a very spicy artist. I know I've mentioned their name here before, Hokisei. I actually still have that because I enjoy their style immensely and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, I'm still striving to get to the level where I can essentially do something quite similar to what they do and stuff like that, right? So it's like, you know, that's my goal. That's my personal goal to draw as well as a spice artist. So I've told myself on many occasion that I may need to dive into the spice art myself. Like, I need to, if I strive to be the spice, then I need to do the spice. But I haven't dived in quite there yet. Though some of you who are on the Discord will see that I tried. We'll see some examples of where I tried, but I have not committed just yet. Why I haven't committed yet? Is it because of some kind of embarrassment or fear? I don't know. Like, it's more that, like, I think it's less that and more that I, I'm so enamored with like how good some of that art comes out that I want to be able to do it when I get to the level that I feel like, okay, like, this is a level that shows that I can do something similar and stuff like that, right? Style wise. But then isn't that like, and I've talked about this like before, where like as an artist, like especially for me, like I always tell my friends stuff like, hey, if you're gonna just do it, just do it. Don't tell yourself I'm gonna wait until I get to X level, because you're never gonna get there, because you're never gonna feel like you are ready. Like I'm gonna do this when I'm ready. But that's just me saying the same thing, like doing the same thing with the different thing, right? Like I'm actually saying, well, I'll do it when I'm ready, but like when am I ever gonna be ready, right? Like, so maybe that's just my own cope of not telling myself that I'm gonna be ready at some point when I probably should just go ahead and do it, right? But I think the other thing is just having the time to do it too. Because like unlike a lot of other fan art, I will say, the spice art, it's not as though I can draw that on stream. So if I'm not drawing on stream, basically if I'm not drawing on stream, then when am I gonna have the time? Because I can only draw on stream, right? Like, well, I can't only draw on stream, but the question is, if I choose to draw most of the time when I'm on stream, and I can't draw the spice on stream, when do I have the time to even do that, right? So it's like, it's a question of logistics for me at this point, which is like really weird to think about, right? Like, when can I spice? Oh, I gotta have a spice schedule. That's what it comes down to. I got to create a spice schedule, and that's when I will have the time to spice. But we shall see. We shall see. Like one day, maybe, Though I've noticed too that a lot of spice artists, like, and this is natural. Like if you're gonna be a spice artist, right, you're gonna have your favorite characters, and as said, spice artists that I really enjoy, they seem to have a couple of Genshin Impact characters that they were drawing quite a bit of for a while there. It seems like they've stopped and they started doing some original stuff as of late, and I'm very curious about that, because I think it's like for a game or something like that, which is like interesting. I have a couple of their art books from attending conventions where they tabled in the sellers rooms and stuff like that, and I bought a couple of their products. I don't think that the attendance that the artist was ever in attendance. I wish they were, so I could get an autograph, but like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't think that they would be able to attend Western conventions as easily, right? Because like if like just thinking about the logistics of going from Asia to like North America, right? Like at a consistent basis, because I've seen them at like their booth anyway. I've seen their booth at quite a few North American conventions that in and out of the United States. Actually, like it's kind of crazy. So I'm like, they're actually they're on the the hustle, right? Like they are working and stuff like that. They're sending their reps over and stuff like that, and it's like, damn, like I think it's awesome, but like I don't think I will ever be able to meet them or and get their signature on any of the books that I bought for. It's fine, you know, it is what it is, right? Though we shall see, you know, this is the first tabling that we have in 2026. Hopefully we are able to get in for other ones. Again, it's hyper competitive, and you know, I count my blessings that I even got into this one right now. So, you know, like it remains to be seen whether or not we will be able to participate in another Artist Alley, but I hope so. So speaking of Artist Alleys, there was a post not too long ago from Anime Expo. So Anime Expo is the big one, right? Like everybody knows Anime Expo, it's the big one, and they were actually accepting applications for a new section of the Artist Alley, specifically tailored towards the spice art and stuff like that. Like, I turned to Mooney when I first saw that, and I was like, oh, I guess this is like a sign, isn't it? But we shall see, you know. Let's see. Okay. She's got a head tilt. Okay. So she's got like a... She's got like a ribbon and a bow up here. And then after the bow... Whoops. So she's got that there on both sides, and then her ears. She has like these little capybara ears on either side, and then behind that she has a beret. Oops, that's way too big. Yeah, there's a pattern over here. So I'm just doing a little part of it because it's obscured by some of her hair there. And then, so she's got a beret on. Quite similarly to Biscotti, she's got a beret on, but you're probably only going to be able to see like a very small part of it. You're not going to see too much of it because of the angle at which her head is tilted upwards and stuff like that, right? There's also like an alternate look for her that she has shades on, but I don't think I'm going to put the shades on her. I think I'm just going to go with this. And I'm gonna move her ear. Originally, I drew it angled inwards more, but I think I'm gonna have it out a little bit. Okay. Okay. And then the same thing on the other side. Sort of, not really. It's like it shouldn't be the same exact thing, but you know, the idea is there. Oh, okay. I need to do this. Oops. Yeah, I gotta get the angle right first for the line here. There. Okay. That should work. That should work. Let's see. And then we gotta zoom out to see the whole thing. Yeah, I'm working very zoomed in a lot on this one. You shouldn't really do that, but you know, the unfortunate part is that old habits. Plus my tablet that I'm currently using is not exactly the biggest, right? Like in Cappy Town I have a large Cintiq, probably overkill size for an artist of my level, but you know, over I think it's like 24, 22 or 24. You know, I don't have to zoom out very much, or rather I don't have to zoom out quite like a lot at all, because you know, like I could see already for the most part. But this is a little different. This is a 13-inch, I think. So, you know, I've gotta zoom in to get certain details. And this is the orange beret that she wears, which is like, I just realized that with the orange color, it's almost like the mandarin orange on the capybara's head. I don't know why I didn't realize these details until now, but I guess it's because I like rarely ever draw my own original characters, or rather this design is not my original design, but you know, still. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this as finished as I can during the stream. I'm hoping that I can do all the line art on stream right now. Though I just only finished the head. It's just like, damn, all the time just now to finish just that one part of it. But you know, it's kind of like the way that arting is like, right? Like you just kind of have to do you just have to have the patience for it and stuff, right? But now that we're done with the head and the face and all that stuff, I think we can finish. I think we could start working on the body. And it's not a very difficult pose either, so that's the part that, you know, I made sure to do with this. The most difficult part about this image is the foreshortening on the hand, which I still am kind of struggling a little bit with, but you know, we'll see. It's like once I get up to the stage where I'm actively doing line work like this with it, right, it kind of forces me to make a decision on, you know, what direction that I want to go in with the hand, and I can't just like avoid it anymore. So that's kind of why I just like kind of went into this and started doing line art and stuff like that, right? Without like doing too much more sketching. Meraki Painter, what's up? How you doing? What is going on? I am just trying to do this line art for this capybara girl that that is the mascot for our brand Capybuds. We are going to be tabling at a convention pretty soon, so you know, like in about a little bit less than a week. And you know, I wanted to do this as a promotional like art thing for the table, like maybe for the table, maybe for the business card. I know it's like you're saying that you're going to be tabling in like a week and some change, and you're now doing this. When is the table? Yeah, it's gonna be March 21st, March 21st, at CarrierCon. Let me make sure I know the date. Yes, March 21st and March 22nd at CarrierCon. Oh yeah, no, you know, no joke. I actually am kind of stressed. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm kind of stressed out about the fact that I'm doing this now, right? But you know, sometimes I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it because my day job, like, you know, I just had to be like really on point at work and stuff like that for the last few weeks and stuff like that. So like, even if I had wanted to kind of spend more time arting so that I could get out of you know, get more prepared, I just couldn't. Like, there was a part of me that actually was trying to get at least one more artwork finished before calling it like, okay, yeah, we're done, right? Like, and I couldn't even get that. I couldn't get it. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating because you always feel like you're not as ready as you could be, right? Like, you know, especially when you're doing one of these. This is the first artist alley that we're attending for the year, so I'm like, oh man. And I wasn't quite as ready or for the other ones, you know. You've never done a table. It's an investment. I will say that printing costs, each time we've done a table, we've spent quite a pretty penny on just printing stuff, and there's always new stuff and junk like that, right? And because, you know, like, I'm relatively new to this, right? I haven't really I don't have the quite the I don't have quite the inventory that some of the pros have, right? But I can see how it starts to add up because I'm not gonna break even for a very long time, if ever. With this, right? Like at this point, and I gotta see if we get lucky, like at some point with tabling, like. So it's like, it's definitely, I wouldn't say that it's something that everyone should do for the experience. It is a serious business at this point. So it's like one of those things where, hey, like, have you thought about your business plan? Have you thought about what your inventory is going to look like? What kind of products you're going to sell? Like, you really got to be, you really got to treat it as a business, is what I'm trying to say. Like, there was a time when artist alleys, like, they were more fun and stuff. Like, participating in them, it was more fun and more of a, hey, I'm an artist, I'm gonna go and do this thing, right? Like, there was a time when that was like the case with a lot of them and stuff like that, and it has changed quite a bit. Like the whole art. I just realized I've been drawing this wrong. I literally just realized that it's supposed to be like down here is actually more of a frilly thing than the top. But yeah, there was a time when artist alleys were much more of a community thing than anything. And there still are artist alleys that are like that. I mean, I'm not going to say that there isn't, right? Like, for sure, there's a lot of events that are more community driven and more casual and stuff like that, where you're not spending like thousands of dollars preparing inventory and stuff like that, right? But like, depending on which artist alley that you're attending, it could get serious pretty fast. And it's not for everyone. That's why they always suggest, like, you start with the local one if you want to try, because then you don't have to worry about things like paying for living expenses and travel and stuff like that, right? Which eat a lot of your costs and stuff, right? So I think starting local, if you ever want to give it a shot, is definitely the key. I think it's a lot of fun though, but again, it is stressful. It is stressful. As you guys can see, like, I'm rushing to get this one done. So, like, I guess to kind of zoom out and give you guys a look at the full artwork, she's basically just being a happy cappy girl, and she's going to hand you an orange. That's the pose. That's the pose that we're going with. Hopefully that is a good enough pose here. We shall see what happens though. Let's see. But yeah, hopefully, like, maybe one day you'll if you stick with the art thing, because I don't know if like how your approach is going to be with your arting journey, I'm assuming, but like, like, maybe one day you'll get a chance to do one too and stuff like that, and you can just have fun with it, right? Like, the first time me and Mooney participated together in an artist alley, because Mooney had done one without me previously, and I just had my I wasn't here in Bounty Hunterville at the time. So she did one without me, and then I eventually did get here, and then we accidentally like kind of stumbled into another one that we were offered at Anime Revo. The Anime Revo table story is like, it's crazy. We had like a day to prep for that one. We only had a day to prep, and we came with the minimum amount of stuff and junk. Are you able to share a table? So it really depends on which what the rules are for which event that you're participating in. Some events do allow you to be a proxy for someone else, right? And share a table and things like that, right? But other events are very strict about it. Like there are some events where they want you at the table. They do not want you to just send anybody. Like if you're the artist, then you have to be there. So it really depends on the event and stuff like that. If you can do a shared table with someone, it's probably the highly advised that you do, right? Because if you share a table with someone, then you share the expenses too and stuff like that, right? So it's highly advised, right? Like from my perspective, that you try to do it that way if that's your first time, right? I don't think I would have enough art for that. Oh, yeah. I did not have enough art when the first time I was seriously doing a tabled event and stuff like that. I still don't think I have enough art now, because some artists that participate in artist alleys, right? They have an output of like something like an image a week, if not more. And stuff like that, and I'm like an artist that produces something like once a month. So I don't feel like I have enough at all. I think for this Artist Alley event, I think I will have maybe 14 items in terms of prints. And I don't know how many stickers that we have. I gotta count that. As well as we have two bags that Mooney designed. And stuff like that, right? So we have some product. But I think whether or not it's enough to fill a whole table by myself is another story, right? Like, same, between work and commissions, it's not something I'm able to do. Yeah, it's just like I am honestly pushing myself this year, especially since last year, to be more active as an artist and to take on these challenges. My day job definitely eats up most of my time. Like, I basically live, breathe, and eat my day job at this point. But I'm trying to do this, like regardless, right? I was actually talking earlier about like how I want to do more art because, okay, so I mentioned earlier that some of my favorite artists are the spice artists out there. Some of those spice artists are amazing, and I want to do the same art that they do. They inspire me to do the art. So I want to do the same stuff, but I don't know when I will have the time to even do the spice art, because it's like I can't do it when I'm on stream, and most of my arting time like is the streaming like art that I do, like I know that I do finish stuff off stream and stuff like that, but most of the time that I draw is spent on the time that I'm on stream. And I can't exactly art spice here, right? Like, that's not something that I can do here, unless I want to speed run the band game, right? Well, your art is very good. You hold a lot of potential. Oh, thanks, I mean, I think we all hold that same potential, right? Like, it's all about... And I said this earlier, too. I think it's all about the the practice and the dedication that you put into it. And yeah, sometimes like timing doesn't work, right? Like sometimes it's not a necessarily a possibility that you can dedicate the time and the commitment to it, right? Because of real life and stuff like that, right? But I think that the great thing about arting is that, like, for example, me, I stopped drawing for quite a number of years there. You know, like I'm quite a bit older than most of you guys are. You know, I grew up in the era of Thundercats and Transformers and G.I. Joe, okay? I'm quite a bit older than you guys. And but so I stopped for the longest time when it came to actually doing arting and stuff like that, for a number of reasons. Some of it were some of those reasons were silly. You know, they're inconsequential at this point, but you know, I picked up arting, what is it, like just a little bit before COVID. I stopped quite a long time ago, maybe like you know, in the 2010s and stuff, around that time. And I picked up again around the time that COVID happened, or just before COVID happened. And you know, like when I started to draw again, it felt like number one, I was super rusty, right? Like there's no way to get around it and stuff like that. You're super rusty, but you know, you kind of pick up where you left off. I feel like I got myself like a little bit more comfortable, and then I realized, like, you know, I didn't lose anything. I just continued where I stopped, you know? I think I'm at the point with mine where I just have to draw more instead of random projects and studying. Well, yeah, you know, like sometimes that is the case, right? You just draw more, and you know, like you discover a lot about you know, where you are and what your ability is currently and stuff like that, right? Like and you know, like commissions aren't all bad, by the way. I think that if you're picking up commissions, right, then what you're not realizing is that your ability is getting you those commissions, right? So you should be very proud of those. I don't think you necessarily have to give up on doing commissions, and especially since commissions don't always line up with the thing that you personally like to do, right? Like sometimes you'll get a commission that's like weird, and you know, like oh, like I don't normally draw this stuff, right? But then you kind of do it anyway because it's a commission and stuff like that. And you know, that's like, it just shows your adaptability as a creator and stuff like that, right? So it you know, like it takes you out of your comfort zone and you're still able to do it. So I don't think that you're necessarily doing a bad thing by doing commissions and stuff like that. I think it's okay, you know, actually. Is you're flexing it's a chance to flex muscles that you don't normally flex, right? Like me, I only really draw like anime girls and things like that these days. I haven't drawn like action type characters, like freaking Dragon Ball characters of all things, like in a while, but I do from time to time remember how to do them. Yeah, for real. Speaking of this emote was drawn by me, and it's totally different from my style. Oh, nice. Actually, I gotta get a closer. Oh, it's like a raccoon? Is that a raccoon? Or a little gray cat? I'm sorry. I'm sitting very far away. Yes. Yeah. I'm sitting very far away from my main monitor, so I'm like trying to like look at it. Okay, let me just like I realized I drew these in like all sorts of different places and stuff like that, and they're not lining up for with where I need them to. So I'm just trying to. I worked with my boyfriend to make it. Oh, be right back. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yes, we worked for a long time to design a character for him. Tough customer. Well, you know, the closest people to you are gonna be the the toughest of customers. I would say. That's really cool though. You got to do a project with you know, your partner, so to speak, right? Like, you know, that's always really good. Like a lot of times, like you know, we've been working on, like, for example, my own output in terms of art and stuff like that, right? So we've actually started doing like a thing where Mooney has actually started to color for me a lot more and stuff like that, or you know, like, and then I will come back and, you know, add things to what she's done and stuff like that to finish off the image, so that you know, like we're able to do a little bit more art. You know, like I'm very fortunate that Mooney is also an artist, and you know, like it works out for us doing it this way, since you know, all of it eventually goes to our brand, Happy Buds. So, you know, like it's helped to speed up some of the process for me, and stuff like that. So, you know, like I've been very fortunate to be able to do that, right? Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Do they stream too? Yeah, Mooney actually streams on Twitch as well. Here, let me actually see if I can do this. I don't think I can do this without her physically being here, but I think I can at least do that. Do you mind if I share your Twitch stream with my friends? I mean, you can do that. Yeah, it's up to you, you know. I do not mind. I do not mind. But yeah, thanks for sharing, you know, like as you guys all know, you know, like it's tough. It's streaming is a tough business. And, you know, like we all try to get noticed. We all want senpai to notice us. But, you know, whether or not senpai will ever notice us is another story, right? I don't know if you know them too, because I don't know where I followed you from. No, that's okay. That's okay. You know, like I think because we all do that, right? We all follow like a gazillion people, and then we don't know like where or when we followed them and stuff like that. So, you know, it's like, huh. But yeah, that's hilarious. It's like, wait, where do I remember this person from? You know, like. see if I can just like speed up a little bit instead of like spending a little bit too much time trying to detail out things that don't really need to be detailed out. I can't keep up. Yeah, I know. Like there's so many talented people here on Twitch that it's hard to keep up. Like there are some streamers that I do still am able to keep up a lot with. But sometimes it's tough. Like sometimes it's tough. Like I don't remember half of the people that I'm like, oh shoot, that looks great. And then like a week later, I'm like, why did I follow this person? Because there's just like too many channels out there and stuff like that. That's the sad part, you know, like about it, because there's so many people that are supremely talented here that, you know, stuff like that kind of happens, right? Yes, but I followed for a reason. Yeah, exactly, right? Like you tell yourself like, you know, I followed for a reason, right? Like there definitely was a reason that I have this person on my list, right? And then it's like, it's weird whenever it's a variety streamer too, like because with a lot of variety streamers, like, you know, sometimes they're playing a certain game that you might have been watching them play, and then sometimes you come back and they're doing something else, right? So you're like, why did I follow this person? Like, what happened here? Like, oh, true. Yeah. It's like, it's kind of funny. It's like, you know, but hey, it's sometimes you're rediscovering like a gem, right? That you forgotten, right? Like that's kind of what I liken it to, right? Like you're just rediscovering the gem that you found before, and it's just a matter of remembering it again. Oh, true. Yeah. That's how I that's just how I you know, like I liken it to, right? Like a hidden gem in the desert. But yeah, it's like, you know, and then like I was showing it earlier too that I had to go back and redo a certain piece of artwork that I liked, that I did a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but you know, like relatively speaking, right? Like, you know, it's like sometimes you just kind of find yourself doing stuff like that too. And I was like, okay, this one I always liked, but I had to go back and redraw certain parts of it and stuff like that. I find myself doing that like a little bit more with the convention prep stuff, because it's like sometimes, you know, like you look at your old work and you're like, you know, if I only had done this a little bit different, this one would be really good as a print. And then I was just kind of like, you know what? Let me just do it. Let me just do it. You know, 100%, right? Cause I've been recently on like a VTuber training arc of some sort, and I've been drawing a lot of VTubers as of late and stuff. So I was trying to buff up the amount of VTuber stuff that I had in inventory. So I went back and I edited a little bit of an image of Hosho Marin that I drew a while ago. Actually, I probably still have it up here somewhere, right? Like I still have it over here. Yeah, I do. I actually do. I'll bring it up again because it's like it's kind of interesting when you look at like stuff like this because it's like it also shows your own progression as an artist. So like I drew this one like a while ago, I always kind of liked the way I rendered like the skin and stuff like that and the body, but I never quite was sold on the face here and stuff like that, right? Like I was always kind of like, you know, there could be something a little bit different about her face. And, you know, like I kind of changed the way that I drew faces for as of recent. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go back in and draw a different face on it. So I actually went in and made a layer on top of it and just like drew a complete, like, it's not completely different. I changed the eye a little bit. It's the same eye actually. It's just I changed it. And then I drew a different mouth that's like a little bit more representing of the type of thing that Marine kind of does on the norm. So I was just kind of like, you know what? I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, it's such a small change to it. It made such a huge difference too, you know, like, I need that with, on, one of my old works too. Yeah, you know, like, I need to do that more often with some of the stuff that I draw and stuff like that. Like maybe revisit some of them because you know, like sometimes you just like you have things. It's just, you know, like maybe for some reason something is bugging you about it and you personally don't for whatever reason don't like, you're not feeling it and stuff like that. So sometimes it's worth revisiting stuff. But then there's also the argument of why don't you just draw something new then? Like, why don't you just draw it all over again? You know, just to, if it bugs you that much, just draw a new one, right? Like, so there is that argument to be made too, right? Like, for sure, for certain. But we'll see what happens, you know, like. Though again, you know, like if I had the choice to redraw a lot of artwork, I would probably end up drawing because there are some artists out there that specialize in drawing only like one character, and I have a feeling that I would have been stuck drawing just like one character. Do you have like, do you guys have like a character that you guys like to draw all the time and stuff like that, and you just don't draw anything else? Like for me, my temptation is always with some of the characters that I like Elfel from Guilty Gear or Ryza from the Atelier series and stuff like that, right? Like if I were to be left to my own devices, I would probably end up just drawing the one character and that's it. But they're not exactly like the most popular characters for a lot of people, so it's like, you know, I can't just focus on that one thing, unfortunately. Why do extra work, right? I have some comfort characters. Yeah, exactly, comfort characters. That's a good way to look at it, right? Like, okay, and this should be it for this. I'm being a little bit messy with the line art for these things that are on her chest, or her upper chest here, because they don't necessarily need to be cleanly done. Actually, the design for them is actually quite messy. So I'm on purpose kind of, you know, just allowing them to be a little bit, more rough. Oh, and then there's ones that go diagonally. Oops. Her boobs, yes, her boobs, Mooney. Hello. I like to draw that. Excuse me. I like to draw Batman, Harley Quinn, and Iron Mouse. Oh, nice. I haven't drawn Iron Mouse. I sometimes feel like I should. At some point. Because, like, Iron Mouse has a couple of designs now at this point, right? Like... She has so many outfits too, you know? The circus mouse was on the docket at one point. Yeah, you know? It like she was the idea was to do it, right? But I like sort of ran out of time in that, like life just caught up at that point. Like, so that was the unfortunate part, but you know, like I think it doesn't mean that we can't do Iron Mouse, but you know, like it just means that okay, so this part is going into there. Actually, I probably screwed it up a little bit in terms of the where everything should be here, but it's okay. It's okay. We're taking a little bit of artistic license here now. What's a docket? So it's another way of saying, like, you know, oh, that was on our list or our plans, right? Like because when I was drawing a lot of VTuber art and stuff like that, right? Like, you know, I was thinking about who would make good who would like make a good artwork, you know. And we were just thinking of different VTubers and stuff like that, right? And then I eventually did land on drawing sorry, my brain is failing me right now. I did eventually land on drawing Zentreya and this other one that I completed, right? Mint, right? Like I did eventually do those two and stuff like that, right? So like so I did eventually do some, but Iron Mouse was actually one that I was thinking about doing. But, you know, like, again, ran out of time before this, before we had to send off everything to print. So on this run, no Mousy this run. But perhaps in a future run, you know, like if we get into another if we get into another artist alley of some sort, you know, in the future, right? Like, you know, we could think about it. My rendering isn't as good as yours. Oh, is no, like I think you know, like honestly, like the way that when I do rendering, to be honest, I just look at reference material, right? Like I look at real like I'll like, for example, that Marion image there, right? I was looking at the way the tummies and stuff like that is actually rendered, art wise and stuff like that, right? So you just look at references and you just follow it, even though it's supposed to be anime cell style. The thing with cell style art is that it still follows real life. You still have to follow real life to do the shading and stuff like that for stuff, right? Like it doesn't ignore it just because it's a different look, right? So I think like if I had any advice to give about rendering stuff, that would be it, like. And I know that it's like, duh, Bard, like of course you look at a reference to do the rendering, but I think you shouldn't ignore real life when you're doing that sort of rendering, right? Like you could look at live examples of lighting and stuff like that. As long as you get the lighting right, the rest will kind of fall in place. Let's see. How is this? True, I've only done anime style a little. Oh, okay. How do you oh, well, you said that you draw, you like to draw Joker and Harley Quinn a lot earlier, right? So you probably try to, I'm guessing that you're probably doing like something that's a little bit more real in the realm of realism, or at least comic style shading and stuff like that. Speaking of which, one of the things that's one of my older friends have always made fun of me about is like, and this goes back to the whole damn Bard, what the hell, right? Like I when I first learned how to draw, I was drawing like Dragon Ball. Right, like that was one of the things that I was first learning when I was first teaching myself how to draw. I was drawing stuff like Dragon Ball, like I would draw like Goku fighting Frieza and things like that, right? Like really like macho anime, like dudes like with giant muscles and stuff like that. The other thing that I drew a lot, which my friend makes fun of me for a lot, right, is that I used to freaking draw Spawn all the time. Like that Spawn, Todd McFarlane Spawn, the guy that looks like he has like a third degree burns on his face, and has the fake Spider-Man mask. That dude Spawn, right? I used to freaking draw Spawn all the time and stuff like that. It's like, how did I go from that to this? That's what my friends always making fun of me about. It's like, how the hell did you go from drawing Spawn to freaking moe anime girl? How did that happen? Right, Coffee? How did that happen? Yeah, I do American comic style a lot, but use used to draw anime. Oh, I see. I think I just have muddy colors a lot. Oh, I see. Used to draw, my bad. No, it's okay. So I get what you're talking about with the muddy colors effect and stuff like that. I know that that's a thing a lot of people struggle a lot with, especially with when it comes to digital art, because with digital art, your selection of colors and stuff, right? You're more free to pick what you want, right? So you're not like as timid about putting down certain things, right? But when you use a lot of soft edge brushes and things like that, right? You start to get like this what you would refer to as muddiness, right? Where all the colors kind of mix together, and then they kind of they don't really stand out from each other, and it almost feels like it's like it's almost like merging into each other, I guess, in a lot of ways. I totally get that, because that actually happens a lot to me too when it comes to certain things that I was trying to do back then, when I would try to color and stuff like that, right? And I think what might help you with that, right? Because it helped me for certain, right? Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. It's like what actually helps me a lot with that, and I do that even do this even now. When I go to do like shadows and stuff like that, right? And I go to do like details, like the highlights and stuff like that, right? What I do when I select the colors, like, so you guys can't see my color picker on the screen. You can't really see it anyway, even if I like maximize my screen. But usually, like, you'll have either like a circle or like a square, right? With your color picker. With the darkest parts are down here, or like somewhere over like here and stuff like that, right? And then the lightest part is this corner over here. So the lightest sides are over here and stuff like that, right? I like the sliders.
Your son's so naughty.
Is he so naughty?
He tried to run behind the couch, so I went and grabbed him.
Wow, Coffee, you little butt! You tried to run behind the couch, huh? Huh? You have your own little escape path?
Mommy can't catch me.
Uh-oh, yeah, uh-oh is right. I like the sliders. Yeah. So what I was gonna say is so a lot of times, so Coffee is a little Pomeranian. He's a mischievous fluffy Pomeranian doggo. Sometimes you can hear him barking like nonstop because he's yeah, he really wants attentions. Either that or the treats. Yeah. So the most saturated side of your colors is on this side over here, right? So this side is the most saturated usually when it comes to this, even on the sliders, right? So like when you have like a slider, right? I think what happens with sliders is that like there's usually like multiple sliders, and you have the lightest side here and the most darkest side here, and then like the least saturated and the most saturated, right? So the thing about it is when I pick colors, right, what I do is I start here, like my base colors are on this side, the least saturated side, right? I always start with like a color, like if I was gonna do like a pink, right? I always start with like, you know, something like that, right? That might be a little dark. Let me lighten that up a little bit. There we go. So I usually do something like that, and then like if I'm gonna shade it, right, then I will move towards a different hue. Like, so this is like a pink, pinkish hue, right? So I'll move towards purple, right? And then I'll go down and to the right. So on the scale, or like on my graph over here, I move diagonally this way. And I will pick like a darker purple of some kind to represent the shading over here, right? And then for the lighter side, I don't just go up to the lighter side, right? I actually move towards the yellow part, right? Because what I'm doing is like I'm trying to pick a cooler color to be the shadows, and then I'm picking like a warmer color to be the highlight and stuff like that, right? And then like I will go in and with like a blending tool of some sort, right? Like I will look at the difference here. Like I'll probably blur this part and blend this part a little bit, right? So I'll do a little blending on it, but that's it. I won't do too much, right? Because I want to preserve like one side with a very heavy or a hard line, and then the other side is more blended in and stuff like that. So like you're kind of like playing around with a hard and soft line and stuff like that. Oops. Why did it do that? Oh, it's because it's on multiply. Whoops. Oops. So you're kind of playing around with the hard and soft line, but you're drawing a clear like distinction between the shadow and the colors and stuff like that, right? But you only blend one side, and then you choose to preserve the hard line on another side, right? So that kind of like stops, yeah, edge control, yeah. So you're trying to stop yourself from mixing everything, and then it starts to get that muddiness that you're talking about. I think is what I usually do anyway. You know. And then maybe like do like a bounce light of some sort on the bottom and stuff like that, right? So I usually do stuff like that so that I avoid having that muddiness and stuff like that, right? You can kind of see it happening actually over on the right side here when I just kind of mixed it in indiscriminately, and then it just kind of like, you know, kept going, and it started to do that because there's no clear separation between the two sides and the two colors and stuff like that. Like that's kind of how I feel like the muddiness starts to happen and stuff like that. So, you know, like I try to avoid it by doing stuff like that, and then I guess give it like a shadow. we're doing the ball exercise only with a really misshapen ball. And then sometimes, like, you know, like take the eraser and then just like soften certain parts and stuff like that. And let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, that might be a little bit too sharp. So sometimes, you know, like you don't want it to be too sharp like this, because then it reveals like the digitalness of it. So you gotta blend it a little bit more and stuff like that. So it's the contrast between like the hard border and the soft borders that you have to control with it. And don't be afraid to have just a solid color there. You know? I think that's that helps me. You know, it doesn't help everybody though. Like everybody approaches it in a different way, but that's how I kind of look to approach it. Now what? Oh geez. Oh jeez. Is it already like? Okay, so I only have like a little bit of time right now, so I'm hoping that I can finish a large portion of this. I think I am actually going to be able to do that, but we shall see, because I'm already on the body for the most part over here. So lock in. It's time to lock in. I'm looking at my stuff, and maybe the shadows have a hard edge, but my lighting is too soft. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's all about that. Like it's just controlling, like you said, the edge control. Is that what it's called? I don't know the terminology for a lot of things because I'm very self-taught. But you know, like don't ever be afraid of you know, trying when it comes to with the shadows and the lighting and stuff like that. And then just controlling like the temperature of the color. So if you have like a warm shadow, then go with a cool light, right? If you have like a cool light, then go with a warm shadow. So like you just look at your colors, right? Like, you know, you pick like a dark blue or purplish blue, or you know, a green or something like that, right? Like a cooler tone for those, for the shadows, and then you pick like red, yellow, or magenta, you know, like those colors. You reserve those for lighting and stuff like that. So like, you know, do the opposite with the lighting. That's why when you look at a lot of movies that do the what do they call it, the freaking the orange and green, or the orange and blue, orange and green, I think it's orange and green, right? Like they do the color grading where they pick a lot of orange, like they have a heavy orange and green and stuff like that. It kind of has that effect of to it, because they're complementary, and it looks cinematically really good, but everybody abuses the hell out of that now. Felt? What's felt? What the hell did I do for the... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong version of the... Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. like it's kind of crazy how that Hollywood just like, they locked in on that what did they call it? It's not orange and green, it's orange and teal. That's what it is. The orange and teal color grading that every freaking movie has now. It's like if you watch a Michael Bay movie, everything is heavily dosed like in orange and teal. Not knowing terms? Yeah. I don't know terms. What are terms? What is this thing that you call terms? People are doing it on their TikToks now. Oh, for real? I didn't know people color graded their TikToks. Oh, okay. You know what? It should have been obvious that people do that. They color grade YouTube videos, of course. Like, you know, like of course that, you know, I feel like a lot of the videos and stuff like that have lately been getting more and more production stuff. But then, like, people don't really understand why people did certain things in production. They just know that it looks good. So, like, I imagine there's a lot of people who download LUTs, right? Like, so the LUTs are the color grading files that like Premiere and After Effects use and stuff like that. I bet like people just download them and they're told, oh, it looks cinematic, but then they just kind of don't understand why. So they just downloaded it and they apply it to their videos and stuff like that. And then it's like, it works, right? Like, you know. Then again, this Cappy doesn't know a whole lot of certain things. Like, I'm always late to the party when it comes to certain trends. Like I tried to do the free ren head the draw free ren's head turned up trend, and I finished the meme, but I like I posted it late. Hello Nomis, how you doing? So I'm always late on trends. Let's see. How are we gonna? I see. I see. Okay. I was like, oh yeah. Earlier, I mentioned too that I was like, I was recently watching a like Gundam again, stuff like that, and like I was kind of super hyped about watching the new show, and I'm like highly disappointed right now. I can't really judge it yet because I haven't seen the whole thing, but at least from what I've seen so far of the new series. I mean, could it be called the new series at this point? It's like not really new, but it's the latest series. But from what I've seen so far, I'm not actually enjoying it all that much, which is really surprising because I usually really like the shows no matter what. Uh, I do feel like as an anniversary show, it does meet some of the criteria of like, oh, nostalgia, cool, right? But there's like stuff about the show that I'm just kind of like, nah, I'm not really like um I'm not really into that sort of thing. Like if you guys have ever seen Witch for Mercury, I feel like Witch for Mercury did some aspects better than this show does. The G-Cux, Mobusu Gundam G-Cux. That's what it's called. I think. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's spelled weird. It's like GQUUUUUX. So it's such a weird name. I should probably just color these in instead of trying to draw them in, but I'm being stubborn. Okay. You know, I thought I would be more done with this at this point, but it looks like um, I hoped for too much. I wished for too much. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something with this. Like I gotta like mess around with the portions a little bit. So I think this is supposed to be like a leaf or something like that. You know, there's some aspects about this character that is still like quite a mystery to me. Even though I have the reference like in front of me, and I should be able to figure this all out. You know, like. Okay, let me. Well, actually, you know, yeah, let's leave it like that, and then. You know what? Let me not erase those lines because it's not supposed to be like an emblem that's over it. You are cutting in and out. Oh, sorry. It might be because of the NVIDIA broadcast and stuff like that. So I have like the NVIDIA broadcast software like basically on like overdrive, right? Because sometimes my little pupper like barks and stuff like that. So I try to keep it on a lot so that, you know, if he barks, that it will try to help with that. It only helps a little bit, I feel like, but yeah. It helps a little. Plus, I don't think it helps that I am a little bit sick. I think because I have this cough and stuff like that, right? So it's like, you know, it's probably about time I go and take my cough medicine and stuff. So I don't think that part helps either. Okay, I thought I would be much more finished with this, but actually, well, let me just at least do this much. I will at least get the silhouette here done, right? Because she has a very long she has sort of like a long skirt bottom here, sort of like an apron that goes over the bottom here and stuff like that. So I should at least be able to get that much done, and then it's just about doing the arms and small details on the outfit. But now, whether or not I will be able to finish coloring this, I'm probably gonna work tonight on this to get it colored in. Because I'm not gonna try to color it the way that I usually color things, right? Where I get a lot of detail on it. Because ultimately, you know, again, this is like a piece that's meant largely to be like in a small format, right? So I don't have to actually do a lot of detailed coloring to it. So you always think of these things in like the format that they're gonna appear in, right? And if ultimately this thing is gonna be like very small, then it's not really necessary for it to be the most detailed thing there, but we shall see what happens, you know, like I don't think it necessarily needs to be the most detailed coloring. I might do like three levels, right? So like the mid tones,
the midtones, the shadow, and then like one more deeper shadow, and then just like very lightly, indicate where the lighter areas are with a very light highlight of some sort. Yeah, like you always like want to approach certain things based on what format it's gonna appear in and stuff like that, right? Like, so that's the little bit of graphic design knowledge that I have because I in another life I was a graphic designer. One that didn't very last long in the industry, unfortunately, because nobody told me that Flash was gonna die as soon as I graduated. But hey, that's okay, It's the sad story of Bard trying to be a graphic designer, learns the one piece of software that dies like a year later. I mean, it made a lot of cool things on that site, that Newgrounds site. Like, how was I supposed to know nobody cared about it? I was all in on Flash, guys. Like, I learned ActionScript 3 and stuff like that. I was like, I was ready. I'm sure you can adapt. No, I ended up not going into graphic design through that because like I could have, but I do realize like a big thing about graphic design, and I will tell you guys like a big thing about graphic design in general, right, is that it's a lot like art in that you want to have a love for it, right? And actually, like, graphic design is not just the same as being an illustrator, right? Like, I will tell you guys right now, if you don't have a specific calling for graphic design, then you might not actually be that great at it. Like, like, if you don't love it the way that you love illustration, like for me, I didn't. That's the thing. I only got into graphic design because I had this foolish thought in my brain that, well, like, being from a Cappy family, right? Like most capybara families, right, want you to be like a doctor or an engineer or something like that, right? Like they want you to be like in one of those high-paying, well-respected fields and stuff like that, right? Like they're not thinking that, artist. They're not thinking that you're gonna do that, right? So I tried to be like, well, I kind of like computer stuff, and I also think to myself that like that's what graphic designers are, right? Like they're like artists, but they do computer stuff. So clearly, this is the way that I should go, and I should I should do well here because it's like I can leverage the two things about myself that is awesome, like that I feel like is awesome. The part of myself that I like art, and the part of myself that likes computer stuff, right? That's the logic that I was rolling with here, okay? And so I went to college for graphic design, and it didn't work out the way that I thought it was gonna be. I learned how to use Flash because my interest in the design aspect of things was like not really that much. And then on top of that, I saw what people were doing with Flash, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. Like, like that's gonna be cool because I can learn to do this the type of stuff. Like the first assignment that I got in my one of my Flash courses, I remember they told me to do like a tutorial on how to load MP3s into a music player to create a music player for a website, right? And my first instinct after reading that and then messing with it and realizing, oh, so that's how you script buttons. The buttons can be can be drawn and stuff like that. You could do this and that with the buttons and stuff like that. And that's how you get an MP3 player. My first instinct was like, that's how you do role-playing game menus. You could make a role-playing game. Like you could actually. At my first homework assignment, I recreated like a JRPG fighting system. I drew little characters and everything for it, and the music that was playing was still qualified as part of that assignment because it was still playing some sort of music in it with a button on the side. I was like, oh yeah, this turns the battle music on and off. That was my first assignment in that course. And I thought I was like, I found the thing that I want to do. Oh, shoot. Flash is done? That's cool too. Did you grade well? Yeah, I did. I graded incredibly well in that course. It was one of the things that was like, oh, wow, Bard, you're probably gonna be really into this career that never took off, because by the time I got out of my program, number one, I had to kind of start over because I heard that Flash was slowly going away at that point, right? And then people started messing around with jQuery and JavaScript and stuff like that. So then I took courses to learn jQuery and JavaScript and things like that, right? And that was like really different because it's not as visually integrated. Like if you guys have ever used jQuery and stuff like that before, right? Like you'll know that it's mainly you scripting little things happening on websites and stuff like that. And even with JavaScript and jQuery, it's still used with a lot of websites, but it's not really like a thing that you can create, it's hard for me to explain. It's like it's not really like a whole thing that you can do like the same things that you can with Flash at the time and stuff like that, right? Like I know like Flash is long dead and stuff like that, or it's never going to come back and stuff like that. But there were things that I learned in those courses that I still remember and stuff like that, and is still useful now to me. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I picked the wrong thing to major in. But yeah, I did get great. I did get good grades in it for what that's worth. And now I have a career. I have a career afterwards. It took me a while to get back into to get like a job, right? After that, right? Because I was doing some freelance, but I was kind of like failing at the freelance thing, and then I applied to a couple of companies, and I was actually unemployed for a whole summer before I got into my current job and stuff like that. And I've been at that job ever since, and it has nothing to do with design or anything. This current job that I'm in is like in the tech field and stuff like that, and it has nothing to do with anything creative whatsoever, which is the sad part about my story, unfortunately. But can't win them all. Like there was a little time when I did work in publishing for like a very brief, like for a sneeze, right? Like I worked in actually in anime for a little while. There was a company. I won't outright say what company, but they had an arm that specialized in the spice, let's just say, and they were one of the earliest companies that brought anime over and stuff like that. And I did a little bit of work for them in terms of helping them to do like DVD covers and marketing material and things like that. So I got the chance to work for an anime publisher not from Japan though. This is a purely Western thing, right? Like they brought anime over and then did translations and stuff like that, and dubbing and things like that. So I did get to work with one company for a little bit, but they let us all go when things weren't going so well for them. But the company no longer exists at this point. In fact, ironically enough, there is a company that exists that was kind of like their rival company that still exists. I believe, you know, and it's kind of hilarious, but you know, yeah, it was an interesting time when I got to do that for a little bit at least, you know. So I got to see what it was like, and yeah, it was kind of interesting. The personalities that were there were also really fun, and the people that worked there, you know, like I wish it could have lasted longer, but you know, that's what happens, you know. That's kind of what happens sometimes when it comes to corpo stuff. Yeah, it was fun, you know, like that's why sometimes when I refer when like Mooney will mention like we had McDonald's or something like that. Sometimes I will say something like I threw down with the clown. I actually got that from the people that I worked at that place. For they were that's what they called going on a run to McDonald's. They were fun. They were definitely fun, and you know, like the experience was still like very good, despite the way it ended. Because ultimately, you know, like when you're doing editing and stuff like that, right? Like in terms of what did they call it? At the time, like ultimately, like you're kind of expendable in a lot of ways in those companies. Like when you're not, you know, like when you're not one of the people who make decisions and stuff like that, and you know, like especially when it comes to publishing, right? Like publishing is a very hard field to still be in. You know, like in the modern day. So it's like, you know, it's tough to be in that in that seat, right? Let's see, did I get this right? Oh, I noticed that I'm missing. So most of it covers that, but I'm missing the line that makes up the collarbones. Right? But yeah, like one of my hilariously enough, speaking of spice things, one of my fond memories of those days when I was doing that kind of work was I actually had to draw in Photoshop underwear. So we had some DVDs where a certain label of spice anime we had to edit some of those covers because they were a little bit too revealing. So I had to draw some underwear over certain screens that were on the back of said DVDs and stuff. There were many jokes about the nurses of the night shift. That's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. But you know, yeah, that was actually like a thing that I had to do while I was there. You know, again, you know, hilarious and you know, interesting work in a lot of ways. Yeah, I sometimes like I know that not everybody has such a hard line when it comes to the neck muscle there, right? But I do like it when I do like to indicate it on one side when the neck is turning, even on female characters, because I know usually people don't like to draw it, but it does exist. It does exist. It's not a completely male character thing, you know, like. And sometimes I like to indicate it there, so you know. You're really showing your age. I know, I really am. I think everybody here already kind of knows that, you know, like even if I don't show my age, they know like a boomer cappy over here. Okay, this is about as far as I can go with the line art on this this particular image today, right now. Though at the same time, so I have to end stream now because I have some stuff that I need to do, including walking the dog and some chores and stuff like that. And then when I get back, I'm gonna have to continue working on this because I need to get this onto a business card like tonight. So unfortunately with this particular image, you guys aren't going to see the way I color this one, unfortunately. So like, the next time I'll be back on stream is like next Tuesday. So the next time I see you guys, this should already be like done. But I'll be working on another piece of artwork. I know it's like the week before the Carrier Con, so that image won't make it to the artist alley. But you know, like I was trying to draw Inanis, the Hololive VTuber, Ninomai Inanis, right? I was trying to draw her in the Monster Hunter outfit that she debuted not too long ago. It's one of my favorite looks for her, so I was thinking about doing this one for a while. So that's probably what I will try to work on. But I do wish that I had started that one sooner so that I could get it in for the artist alley. But you know, like unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. Now, if you guys are wondering what this Capybara Girl's design in full actually looks like, I think I can actually show you guys, right? There you go. Yeah, this is the Capybara Girl design that we have adopted from Tsushima Twitter and stuff like that. I believe that's their name. And yeah, like you know, this is the design that I've been doing. I've been drawing the underside, and most of the jacket is actually transparent if you kind of like look over here. So I actually don't need to do too much of the jacket. It's just the black lines and stuff like that will make up most of the jacket and you know the rest of the artwork. But you know, like this is what I was looking at for this artwork, and I'm just redrawing her in a style that's more me and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a very cute design. And again, you know, like you guys might be wondering, like as an artist, why didn't I just draw my own design for this, right? I know that when we saw this design, it was incredibly cute, and the artists themselves were actually selling the usage rights for this one as a VTuber model and stuff like that, right? And you know, like for me and Mooney, a lot of times we like to support other artists when there's stuff that you know that we like, right? So you know, like we decided, you know what, it does align with our brand to have a capybara mascot, so let's purchase the usage for this one, for the time being. So yeah, like we decided, why not, right? And this is actually the first time I'm drawing this character. Surprisingly enough, this is the first time I'm actually drawing this character. So it's kind of hilarious. Like I've had this character available for art and stuff like that for the longest time, and this is the first time that I'm actually doing this. This is but I have a bad habit of drawing my original creations, much less somebody another creation that we have that's not quite my original creation. So I've already got like a really bad now doing my own characters to begin with, right? So, but I think it's coming out pretty good. Next time I'll be back is around the same time, like 6-ish p.m. Eastern time. United States time, I should say, Eastern time for the United States. That's around the time that I stream. It's Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So next time I'll be back is a Tuesday, and I'll continue arting. That's all I do now. I don't game anymore. I just art. But I think that it's paid off for me to continue to art and not do too many other things. It's really working out for me. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And by the end of next week, we'll be over in Alameda in California. We're going to take a flight over there, and we are going to be attending CarrierCon. It's going to be pretty fun that weekend, and then I might have video or stories to come back from that, depending on what happens there, because I will definitely be videotaping. Holy crap! I'm going to be recording on my freaking GoPro. All the stuff. Maybe I'll have a chance to walk around before the show starts after I finish my setup, and just to see who else is there and what other art is happening over there. It was nice time. Yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. I always enjoy chatting while I'm doing the art thing. Some people may say that I talk way too much. But that's okay. But I'll see you guys next time, and again, we'll be back next time. And here, before I forget, I gotta advertise. Here is our VGen. Here's our VGen. I think if I remember my commands still. There's my socials, and here's our Discord if you guys want to join it. So there you go. Anyway, I will see you guys again on Tuesday, and have a great weekend. All right, bye everybody.